Charlene, good to live to see another day. For some reason, I'm so blessed because I actually saw some football games yesterday and was able to break it down that how, as I saw it with my eyes, that's why we need evidence, and that's why with the NFL, they have camera rigged everywhere. And so is Las Vegas Casino, except for that they burned the tapes instead of reviewing it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I was talking about that, the so-called disputed touchdown by the Jets. This guy Jenkins, it wasn't a touchdown. Again, like I said, if he had the possession going into the end zone instead of the pylon, but then the ball was knocked loose by the Patriots, McCourty, and who else? My guy, Butler. Malcolm. I love this Malcolm Butler again. So it's beyond a shadow of a doubt that you cannot argue that the impact knocked the ball loose when he was going out of bounds, when Jenkins was going out of bounds. But whatever, I did a analysis already. So somehow I want to tell you about, I'm writing this down. I would say, first of all, conspiracy, you know, there is a script. And that's why I got really kind of just a hunch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I gotta stop this. Oh, shoot. Got toxin. Oh, man. I'm so worried about toxin. Okay, let me hold up. Alright, let's see if it works. Continuing, because I was trying to write this down and adjust this lay. This means a lot to me because I used to live in Hawaii, and sadly, Hawaii is a communistic state because people bought into this thing about socialism. Democrats took over. But anyways, this lay was given to me by some guy in Trader Joe. So let's just call the script that the so-called the deep state, Soros, I don't know, in cahoots with Obama, shadow government. He's the one that's conquering down in Washington instead of going off somewhere playing golf, like the time that he was playing golf when, remember, James Foley were beheaded brutally. Remember that? He was playing golf. He didn't give a rat's ass. So let's just say that Route 91, and I'm just writing it down. It happened on 10:01. So the script is this it upside down? 911. 911 again, 01. Remind you, hey, you know, the bad guys, they're so like so bold, just like they say arsonists, usually they will leave a clue like Siemens on the scene. You see what I'm saying? Because they get off on this stuff. And the bad guys, the evil Soros, the globalists, and this is not a joke. They probably call the script 911-01, just a reminder. So remember the harvest, the Las Vegas, it's the harvest. Route 91, that's the name of the festival. Route 91, and then on 1001, October the 1st. So this was a setup, and that's why when I saw the link, your newswire, so thank God for that contributor, Dimitri and Zero Hedge, I immediately copied that link and I sent it to like Alex Jones, but I don't think he responded to it. But high impact, this guy is a patriotic genius. He not only broken down the analysis, the ballistic analysis, he actually broke down the money, the finances. He researched it and he made it a very convincing, clear, educational, like a classroom argument. You see what I'm saying? Because you see me here, I'm like, la, 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 la. Oh, sure, like nobody takes me serious or whatever. It does not matter. The end result is that also we're being persecuted by YouTube But YouTube, whoever that, like they were saying, it's the robot or whatever that's doing that. But somebody programmed the robot. But they should be afraid because they're using us. I don't know who was the last person who saw any money, any checks. So this so-called the monetization and demonetization, all that kind of stuff, it's another smoking screen and make you think that you can make money while they pocket all the money because they eventually find an excuse. You never get your checks. You'll never, I haven't seen anything. So, if they ever actually come to light, YouTube is owned by Google, if really comes down to it, they park their money offshore. That's why they get away with all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That their money is not being audited. So if there's an audit that comes down that, hey, what happened to this so-called advertiser? Because they're the biggest, the money makers in the AdSense. You see what I'm saying? They're in a lot of trouble. So, comrades, I'm talking about my patriotic, I don't know, YouTubers, is that a good word to say? That we ought to be in one accord. Like I said, that lady in Truth of Grace, she exposed about this Sonoma fire and how this thing was really part of the setup to not just distract, but to declare war. They declare war, meaning the deep state, because they had this Obama for so long, and they have implanted their moles everywhere. No, seriously, everywhere, and especially California. I saw some comments. It's like people are saying it's not like you think. Like everybody's in California is part of their network. They had gradually taken it over because of these rigged events. Like recently, so right afterwards, they really declare war. Right after the Vegas thing, the MSM sweep it under. And not only that, they tried to make this, the Paddock. See, they even name his name Paddock. So they chosen the Patsy. When I say they, I mean, I know Jim Moran, this Obama, all that dirty deeds behind Soros, that, they can't refute it. There's irrefutable evidence because they make gazillions of dollars betting on this MGM Grand, which owns the Mandalay Bay, their fall, and their logo trademark is the evil pyramid. So the devil declared war, basically, and it's blood money. And also now they burned down a whole bunch of people in Orange County, in Sonoma County. So those are like traditionally, we are, I don't want to use the word Republican, but people are the older generations that, they're farmers, they're hardworking people. They're the ones that are labeled by the liberals, the deep state, the Democrats to go after. Because if you voted for Trump, they put a bullseye on you. So you're saying, well, should I be scared and run? No, don't do that. Because what happens to an ostrich is you bury your head in the sand, but your butt sticks out where they can freaking really screw you in the ass. I know it's graphic, but whatever. Hey, nobody is perfect. Everybody, I guess, I don't want to say spreading rumors about me or whatever. I don't really care. I'm really grateful that, people, in fact, we're not evil. We're just being awakened to the evil, and that's teaching us, or not teaching us, that's telling us, programming us to hate one another. So it's not about just Republican, Democrats, or whatever. It's the agenda, what's behind it. They're coming after you because you know how to protect yourself. You have discernment, your wisdom, instead of following the MSM, which want to make you think. In fact, I saw a photo that this guy on YouTube, thank God, there's a lot of smart people. He was a expert in Photoshop. He said that, the picture of Paddock holding a drink like this, it was a very, it's not a favorable photo. with a woman in his arms. So they depict him as this drunken booze hound and drugs, and he even said it when he broke down that photo, because it's so known, like his eyes is like this. I don't know if you've seen it. And then the Filipino woman held onto his arm. That was photoshopped, because he said everything, the edges, you can see that they soften it. It's like, you know, his hair, and then also the edge of that, the Filipino woman, was it Mary Lou Danley, I don't know, was cracked. So this is imagery all carefully crafted by the mainstream media, and then they go on to try to make you think, to track your mind into like his personal lifestyle and blah blah blah, and you know, to conjure up this whole thing for a dead man who cannot defend himself, because how convenient, only one guy did it and he's dead. Like I was saying to you, that everybody, I can guarantee you had this happen to you, that someone blamed you for things that you haven't done. It just happened to me. I was minding my own business, you know, I put on my goggles in the pool and I was swimming. I just said that. And I'm trying to keep a good heart rate, so I'm like out of breath the whole time. I'm and try to keep the water out of my mouth. So I did my thing. An hour later, like I was describing this, and when I was driving, I just said, some guy, the security guy, tried to kick me out, and he says someone said that I was harassing somebody, other people around the pool. I go, I wasn't even there. I was here on my, you know, minding my own business. So I stood up. I stood up to the guy. I said, where is the proof? You can't accuse somebody in this country. You cannot accuse somebody without giving them a chance to defend themselves. That's why we have a due process. I said, bring my accuser. You know, it's as simple as that. He just go, okay, whatever. He tried to throw me out. So I don't know if it hasn't happened to you or not, when someone accuses you of doing something, and by, I don't know, the grace of God, that I was alive. But if I couldn't defend myself, I bet it's just a small event. If I couldn't defend myself, they were, you know, they're just probably gonna make a big deal out of it. Oh yeah, and then right, she was drunk, and then she was throwing stuff around. But you do not give the other person a chance to defend themselves, and that's what the danger is, the communistic domination. And that's why they can't get their story straight, because just like Benghazi, there are a few brave men that were there that vowed to fight to death to save Ambassador Christopher Stevens' lives. That's why the human spirit is so great. You know, just like this, they want to kill 23,000 or however many. Somehow, like I said, I don't know what happened. Why did they stop shooting after 9 minutes or whatever? But they couldn't get their story straight. I believe, according to the script, the 91101, the Route 91 script, the Jesus, they created like any script, 101, right? Movies 101. Oh sure, it looked great in Mission Impossible when Tom Cruise execute everything, like, you know, everything is on the dot. Boom! You're supposed to walk around these dark alleys, and boom, this is supposed to happen, and that boat comes along, and that's carefully crafted and hours of rehearsal. But in real life, it did not work. And I still believe Harvey Weinstein has a lot to do with it, the fall of him. They're pissed, all right? I'm talking about the dark shadows, because if they're bold enough to tell you the screenplay is 91101, again, that goes to and also this pyramid, so that you know that they want you to know that they're proud of it, and they don't care. They thumb their nose at you. Like I said, you and I couldn't get away with this shit, or like the FBI stuff when they accused the Donald Trump colluded with Russia. They said Russia hacked into the Democratic computer, blah blah blah, when they wouldn't turn the computer over. So I beg you, to see that for yourself. If you call the police and says someone that broke into my house, I want my neighbor arrested, I'm sure he did it. But then the police want to come over and check out the evidence, take fingerprints, and you said, no, hell no. I'm going to do the investigation myself. I'm hiring a private investigator. I'm going to hire, paying them thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's exactly what a DNC did. Nobody from the FBI up till today still have not examined that freaking evidence, so-called the server that to proclaim collusion, and yet, CNN and blah, 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 they're spewing out these lies when there is no evidence. So, yeah, I can't get my neighbor arrested, all right, without having them to examine the evidence. But how did they get away with this shit? And who's going to profit more money? And see this guy's broken down, the high impact, if I can find his link. Anyways, because they're intellectual, smart people. And when they saw this, like I was saying to you, because they're stand to profit. Jim Moran, who's appointed by Obama as the Homeland Security Counsel, so he, provides a different security system, and now they try to sell that everywhere, with Chertoff, OSI, the scanner, and TSA to make you believe that make you safer. But no, I believe that's going to kill you even faster, because you don't know, every time you get scanned, like I was saying, there's radiation that go into your body, the full body scan. That's why Madden and smart people, they drive their motorhomes to do the broadcast. Or I think he's retired, but they don't want to fly because they expose you to this shit day and night. That would cause cancer for sure. They want to install that everywhere, in your church, in your synagogue, in the hotel, in the theaters, and now in the casinos, because of this shooting. And then all of a sudden they start to implement it, and your tax dollar, millions and billions of dollars, and go to fund that, is to entrap you, to take away the freedom. My patriotic friends, if you're patriotic. But somehow, I know I'm going on. Oh, I want to thank my friend Loki, Anthony. I'm not going to say your last name. Retired veteran. Sent me $20. I couldn't believe it. Just like Ison Grindal, I would call them brethren, that's working to uncover what they're doing in California, because he's fighting that war. I send him a little bit of money because, they're driving to all these county meetings and council meetings and expose them. Seriously. I mean, they try to shut him down. Every time I see him coming, they shut down because they want to hide what their dirty deeds are, the so-called the DACA illegal, and how can we get more of them in, and, get rid of these people that were here, they're born here in Torrance or whoever, that they're patriots, and they were confronting the council people and saying, why are you raising the gasoline tax? There's 71 cents per gallon now, all the way to 2010. That's per gallon, my dear friend. I mean, you don't think you're fleeced enough, and that's exactly why this country, United States, were born, because we said we had enough of this taxation, this pretty much open robbery. Okay. So, I thank God. All right, so thank my friend, and now I'm going to be, because for a while I was just like going, oh, nobody's going to really give me anything, but I'm grateful for that, so I'm going to put that link down there again. But, this just popped up in my head. I think I'm going to start again for another, because wow. Talking for a long time. I know I sound silly and everything. Let me stop for a second.